What's up guys, it's TJNX here, back making a video about Bleach Online. Now this video will be the part 2 of my previous video, which is part of my mini series called Bleach Online all about PvP. Okay, on my last video we talked about the basics of choosing a partner and your combos for your PvP formation, the start build, and the things that you need to consider in choosing a partner. Okay, but for this video we'll focus on your mid build. Okay, now on this phase the things that you need to consider are still pretty much the same. Okay, but you only add in a few things. Okay, so that's your Ratu, Zenako, and also your soul map or your skill set. Okay, now before we go through that, let's take a look on what are the available partners for your mid build. Okay, so yeah, we got here Shinji Hirako and Sajin Komamura. Now I did a video about who to pick or who in my opinion is better, so I went with Sajin Komamura simply because he is good as he is, and because Shinji Hirako is just costly to make him strong. Okay, so yeah, now can't say we will skip him because he is good on PvE, and but about these two right here, which you can by the way, you can get all of these or you'll unlock them at level 70. Okay, now starting with Haribel. Now he does 60% growth rate. Okay, and attacks enemy assaulters, decreases their fury. Same goes to Yorochi right here, but instead of attacking the assaulters, he attacks the enemy supports and decreases the fury by 50 as well. Okay, so yeah, you can get Komamura as a tank, and if you're going for a control formation, you can go ahead and get both of them or just get one, whatever you prefer. Okay, like I said, mix and match. Okay, now once you hit your level once you hit level 80, you will be unlock these set of partners. Now the pretty much partners that are on the mainstream are Kisuke, Ikaku, and Byakuya, but you can't really blame them because they perform well. Okay, but again, it doesn't mean that these three are useless or weak. Okay, so I'll show you guys what I mean. So on my previous video I talked about the quick kill of the assault line. Okay, now Tosen and also Shinsui does a good job in doing that particular task. Okay, now as you can see, growth rate is pretty good, 160%, attacks enemy assaulters. Okay, now Shinsui does 146% damage growth rate and attacks the enemy vanguard and assaulter. Okay, now that is pretty good considering Shinsui is a support. So if you have your main character, you also have Byakuya, and you also have Tosen, then you pretty much have three assaulters that attacks your enemy assault line. Okay, now adding Shinsui will make it 4. So pretty much your enemy assaulter is, I mean, your enemy assault line will be good as dead. But again, some people could always counter that with Haribel, so it's pretty much a mix and match or equip your partners well kind of situation. Okay, so the more partners you have, the more flexibility your formation will have as well. Okay, but I'm not trying to encourage that you get all of them. What I'm trying to say is you can work on that, but again, set your your priorities first. Okay, if you want to excel on PvP, go ahead. If you want to excel on PvE, then go with PvE. Okay, but this video will be about PvP. So again, yeah, go ahead with these two if you want to. They are pretty good. Again, each partner has their own purpose. Okay, now you can pretty much have a 1-1-3 formation, one vanguard, one assaulter, and three supports. Okay. Also, you can have a 1-2-2 or 1-3-1. Okay, so I've shown 1-3-1 and 1-2-2 on my previous video. I haven't showed you guys the 1-1-3 because I pretty much um, didn't have the idea of doing that. Okay, but again, I'll show you guys what I meant by that. So pretty much if I was to make my formation turn to something like this, um, yeah, this would totally work as well. Okay, um, reason why is because Haribel and Yorochi will pretty much take care of the enemy assault line and support line as long as they have the speed to do so. Okay, now take a note of that because they really need to be the first one to do their job. Okay, I mean the first one to attack for them to do their job. Okay, now Kisuke is just there to do 100% growth rate damage on enemy vanguard. Okay, just to throw a little few punches. Okay, now the assaulter on the other hand, you can either choose the 8 skill or the 10 skill, but the 8 skill won't really have any use because you are the only one there, and that will make your support get the extra round. So yeah, go with the 10 skill and damage everyone since these two focuses on the assault and support line. It will pretty much help. Okay, so yeah, now let's talk about the Reiatsu. So when you were on your start game or start build, Reiatsu doesn't play an important role that much. Okay, because if you have a high Reiatsu but your growth rate is pretty much garbage, then it won't make sense at all. Okay, now what you need to do is before you set your Reiatsu up, which consumes so much silver, okay, before you do that, get a decent partner. Okay, now what I'm talking about is like I said on my previous video, you can use Renji and Lisa as your PvE formation or PvP. Now both will be good. Now again, Ratu will be there just to assist your partners. Okay, give them more stats, more speed, and whatsoever that they need. Okay, now that that is done. Oh, by the way, don't forget the I did a video about Reiatsu. The title was cost efficient way of leveling up Reiatsu. So go ahead and look that up. So there are some awesome tips there that you can use for your Reiatsu. Okay, so you don't end up spending too much gold. So by the time you reach your mid game or mid build, this is the phase where you need to amp it up a little bit because as you can see here, mine is 36, so it's a little bit outdated. It should be on 40. Okay, by mid game, if you're in transition, I mean transition to end game, then this should be on level 40 or above. Okay, now take note of that. Yeah, so moving on to Zenpakuto. Now from start game to mid game or start build to mid build, you will be using the Zenpakuto with the negative buff on your vanguard. Okay, so as you can see, everyone got a negative effect on the vanguard, especially if you're a free player or a budget player, because the Zenpakuto that offers no negative effect on Vanguard. It's pretty costly, cost about 7,000 gold or 4,000, 5,000. I don't know, but yeah, it costs a lot. So the reason why Senpakto is also important next to Rayatsu is because they add bonus stats, okay? Mainly damage and speed, okay? Those are two important factors in PvP, okay? Because the difference, okay? I'll explain to you guys briefly. If I was battling someone with only 1 point higher than my agility, for example, he has 101 and I have 100, then it is sure that he will hit first, and that is what makes all the difference, okay? Now, if we are both using Yoruichi, okay, if he goes first, then he'll use the Fury skill first, then that gives him the chance of stunning me first, okay? If he hits me first, then I get my Fury decreased by 50, so that is bad. So always um, put heavy consideration on that, okay? Okay, now that pretty much ends the discussion on Zanpakuto, okay? Always pay attention to what your formation needs, okay? So if I am on PvP mode, I always use Ashisogi Jizo just because I want my support much more faster, okay? 12% is really big of a help, okay? So yeah. Now, moving on to your soul map or skill sets, okay? Now, on your mid game or mid build, it is sure that you will have the 8 skill, okay? If you don't, go ahead in the beauty game and get them souls, okay? So you obtain the 8 skill, okay? Now 8 skill is a big help, okay? But also, again, if you're facing a control type, you might want to get the you might want to use the fourth skill again, okay? Now keep leveling it up because it has pretty much high damage growth rate considering it's a low level skill, and also it's only level 6 as you can see, but it's already on 152%, okay? So yeah, level up your skill. Don't copy mine because mine is shitty and fucked up. So yeah, I'm trying to work on that. As you can see, I worked on my 10th skill, so yeah, that is good. But again, going back to the main point, you might wanna study your formation more so you end up using the right skill, and also use the right skill on the right opponent, okay? Because it always varies, okay? If your opponent has 2 healers on his formation, go ahead and use the 5th skill, which is the anti-heal skill. Prevents healing for 4 rounds, okay? So that is a good 4 rounds that you will negate both partners, okay? Not just the skill, but both partners, okay? Because they won't be able to heal your Vanguard, okay? So that is a good tip right there, again, okay? Now if you're going to an extreme damage type, go ahead with a 9th skill, okay? It all depends on you. Pay attention to your enemy's formation, your enemy's partner, and as I've said on my previous video, um, just study your opponent, okay? Make him your best friend, study him, and fill up the weakness that he has, okay? Make your strength his weakness, okay? Now that is a good advice right there. Keep that in mind also, okay? Yeah, I'll show you guys a few more examples of what kind of combinations you can make. So yeah, you guys know that this would work already, right? So we will skip that, but again, I can change that again, so you can pretty much do the same. Okay, for example, I'll go with this one. Okay, so as long as you can pair up your skills and your combo, the thing would work. I mean, your formation would work, okay? Now, this is not a very good formation, but again, it will work on certain opponents. Okay. Now, for example, both attacks the enemy assaulter line. Okay. Now, Toshi does silence on the assaulters, enemy assaulters. But if the enemy has the Fury active already, then the silence will be negated or delayed for one turn, and the opponent will be able to cast the Fury, which is a bad news. Okay, now what you want to do is make Haribel the second one to attack. Okay, so Toshi first or Haribo first, or yeah, either way, as long as these two hit the enemy before the enemy hits them. Okay, the first one. Okay, so yeah, Haribel is there to assist Toshi and consume the fury of the enemy, and also gives you the chance to stun them. Okay, now Ichigo and Lady Booby is just there to damage the assaulter line even more. Okay, the enemy line even more. So yeah, the Vanguard is just there to tank the hell out of the damage. Again, put your stones that you have already invested, and by that I mean the block stones. Put him there. Put the highest block stones you have, so you will have a pretty hard tank. Okay. Now, in case you didn't get Sajin and you first got Haribel, Sado will still work, but make sure that you back him up, because at mid game or mid build, expect your opponents to have stronger partners. Okay, because growth rate of each partner varies of evaluation. So clearly the higher eval will have the advantage over the lower eval. Okay, so yeah, this will still work, but again, on certain players it won't. Okay, so yeah, pretty much the basics and the mid one is taken care of. Again, take note of the things that I said, the important points. Okay, don't forget them. Also, before I go, this set of partners is what I consider the partners in transition from mid build to end build. Okay, now pretty much Kenpachi will be good for PvP and PvE. This can replace Komamura, but again, um, Komamura and Gilga has different roles. Okay, different skills as well. Okay, because he provides aid rate on your assaulter, which is good if your enemy has I mean if your enemy attacks your assault line. Okay, so that is a pretty good counter for that. And Retsu Onohana is really good in keeping safe your Vanguard and also your assault line. Okay, so this two will be a pretty nice combo. Okay, so take note of that. Again, Baragan, you need to think twice if you really want to get him, because 110% with no disable, only a poison status effect. So you really need to consider what combo you want. Okay, and especially consider the things that you already have, as I've said over and over. Okay, consider the things that you have already, because you will get to the point where you want to change formation. For example, you were using formation 1-2-2, you will want to change to 1-3-1. So take consideration of that. Okay, because there's a lot of patterns or combos that is pretty good. So yeah, don't end up spending a lot of silver and wasting your time on on stuff that will just pretty much be useless by the end of the game. Okay, or by the end of the day. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't want this video to get any more longer. On the next video, the third one, will tackle the I mean the end build to the solid end build. Okay, so it's pretty much like both end builds, but the other one is a transition into becoming the much more stronger you, the final and ultimate. Okay, so yeah, I really need to get to level 90 first, so so I can show you guys the next one, or maybe a friend can help me. Okay, so yeah, I'll find a way. So again, if you like this video, go ahead and press the like button. If you dislike it, press the dislike button. Suggestions and comments, positive or negative, it's all very welcome and very much appreciated. Thank you guys for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe. Okay, I love you guys, and thank you for supporting, and I see you guys on the next video. Okay, peace.